Hi, this is Shaun George from Stuart, Florida, and you are watching GoTarryn TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to GoTarryn TV. It's Tarryn the Traveling Trainer from Atlanta, Georgia, and side by side, as you can see, we're welcoming back to GoTarryn TV all the way from Stuart, Florida, Mr. Shaun George. Shaun, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Tarryn. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Pleasure's always mine, and we had you on last month, and here we are in the month of May, Shaun. We are getting closer to our friend Tony Anuzzi, if he's watching, his wedding. It's inevitable. It's in a few weeks.
Yeah. I know he's excited. I just ran into him at the gym a couple days ago, and he's really getting geared up.
Very good. And Shaun, last time you and I spoke, I couldn't remember, honestly. Are you going to be at the wedding? I don't think you could make it, correct? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be there, but I know you're flying in. I think the day before you said, and also
Yeah.
perhaps throughout the process we might get to meet each other and everything, but I will not be there.
For sure. Yeah, no worries. I'll bring my video equipment with me and my microphone and headset, and that way, in case maybe we can, like we talked about last time, get the manager of the Tequesta Fitness on camera, ask her some things, and maybe meet some of the staff and maybe some of the members at Tequesta Fitness as well. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be cool.
we'll
Yeah.
do like a remote video blog right there. So, Shaun, let's get back to you for a second. How's everything going this week? How have you been?
Doing great, Taryn. Yeah, everything's good. I picked up a couple new personal training clients yesterday, so that's
Excellent.
always good
That's always a
business.
good
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, love it.
always a good thing. Yeah, so everything's going well at the gym. Snowbirds are headed back north, so the general business has slowed down in terms of gym memberships, but personal training still going strong. So that's a
Perfect.
good thing.
That is always a
Yeah.
good thing. Yes, absolutely. And the reason why I brought you back, Shaun, I wanted to talk to you about the nitty gritty and the grind and everything, kind of like pull the curtain back and let some of the people who aren't in this field be able to see what you and I go through on a daily operations day to day, and dealing with some of the great things like picking up new clients and maybe some of the not great things, maybe when we get stiffed from a client, maybe when a client no call no shows, things like that we're going to jump into. And so this
Great.
will be an interesting show. We're not going to single anyone out, I promise. That anybody who's watching, don't think that we're talking about you, because we're not.
Right,
And
right,
so we love our clients. That's the disclaimer. And we want to preface this that if it wasn't for all of our great clients and wonderful clients sticking it out with us, you and I wouldn't be here. So we got that out of the way.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's
they
what it's
help
all
us.
about. Yeah, and the good of all the clients, it outweighs anything of the bad days that we might have here and there, which are few and far between. So jumping into it now, Shaun, the first question I have for you, if this is someone's first time watching you on GoTarryn TV, because we've had you on in the past on previous blog shows, what can you tell the folks out there of what you're passionate about and what your personal training philosophy entails, please?
Yeah, pretty much, Taryn. And I just think it's a business that I'm cut out to do.
Hmm.
I believe God's blessed me in terms of having a job that I like.
Definitely.
That
Yeah.
may be a hard thing for some people to actually be in a line of work that they found that they enjoy.
Hmm.
I've had plenty of jobs I did not enjoy along the way, but fitness is something I've always been part of. It's always been part of my life. Just even as a kid growing up through elementary school, I always participated in. We called them the Presidential Physical Fitness
I
Awards,
remember those.
and yeah, so way back in the day, how many push-ups can you do in a
Yep.
minute? How many sit-ups can you do? How many pull-ups, so forth and so
Absolutely.
on. And so it was just in my blood. I've always
Yeah.
played sports, and one day I ran into a guy through martial arts training, and I said, "Hey, man, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Are you a martial arts instructor full time?" He goes, "Actually, I'm a personal trainer." And I was like, "Huh, you can do that and make a living?" He goes, "Yeah." So I started studying books and figured out how to get my certification. My cousin was a trainer, and it just kind of put the thought in my head, and I pursued it. And I said, went through some ups and downs in the gym life, but overall, it's a job that I enjoy on a daily basis. I look forward to it, and I really enjoy it.
Excellent. That's great, Shaun. And let me ask you this. My question to you is, what do you find most rewarding about being a personal trainer? Like at the end of the day, when you get home, what do you find just in such great value in continuing to do this?
Yeah, I guess the best reply to that would be the fact that I do enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I think everything just sort of stems from that in terms of helping people. I can truly feel like I'm helping people accomplish goals, relating to people in different ways. Through interacting with them, and it just all kind of stems from that positive influence,
Yep.
sort of feeling like I enjoy what I do, and then just everything positive comes from that. So I would say all of the above.
That's awesome. Excellent. And what do you envision for yourself, Shaun, say from now, like short term and long term goals? Like the next short term being 1 year, long term being 5 years. What would you like to see happen as you grow and become a better personal trainer for yourself?
Yeah, I guess pretty much a general goal is to have my own gym or fitness business is my own
Hmm.
goal.
Cool.
I guess if I were to dream big, I would probably say a chain of gyms.
Cool.
Short-term goal would be to start off with one gym.
Hmm.
So as of now, I'm basically considered, a self-entrepreneur, business-wise, personal training. I'm basically a subcontractor through a gym. So,
Hmm.
I'm just working through a gym system. However, I do have clients that I train outdoors. But my goal is to have my own gym, and the bigger dream would be to have probably a chain of gyms or even a franchise of some sort. Something affiliated with obviously fitness, but I'd like to have some boxing mixed into it and stuff like that, and just a little variety of things.
Nice, excellent,
Hmm.
and it's great to dream big. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you reminded me. Of speaking of boxing, and it's a good segue to talk about kickboxing. We didn't
Hmm.
get to have this on camera last time, but we got to give a shout out to Mr. Dan Magnus in case he's watching. So I guess Shaun, you had gotten a chance, an opportunity. You told me to watch his video blog a couple months ago.
Yeah, and I really did appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's funny listening to his interview because myself working in a boxing gym, directly in a boxing gym for about 7 years or so, and then of course I still do boxing training.
Hmm.
I just got bit by the boxing bug. I absolutely love it. I grew up in martial arts as a kid,
Hmm.
and a lot of things that Dan was saying on his interview, some of the names he was mentioning, I recognized a lot of the names, not just in boxing but martial arts, and it was just like some, I'd say some good old school names I remember reading in the books as a kid growing up and stuff like that. And so to hear somebody mention even some of those names that he mentioned, just I really connected with his conversation in his interview. And of course, listening to him talk, you could just I just had a connection with his whole interview. I think that I really appreciated, and it was really really good. I really appreciated his interview. That was good.
That's really cool. I'm going to
Yeah.
definitely let him know what you just said. He'll very much, I'm sure he'll appreciate it in a reciprocal way as well. And what's ironic
Great.
about our other mutual friend, Tony and Uzi, they were able to become friends through both doing podcasts with me. And they both shared the, obvious multiple heart surgeries that they've had. And so I found that very intriguing that they can talk to each other and kind of tell their experiences and share their stories with each other of what they've gone through. I just can't imagine that myself. It's just amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, thanks to people like you, putting all this stuff together, people can see how small of a world it really is and interconnect in that way. So,
Thank you.
thanks to you for getting it out there because I look at some of your interviews online and stuff like that, and you've got just a wide variety of things going on there. That's really, really neat. So, you've obviously found your, other than training, your thing that you're good at too. So,
Thank you.
but it's nice that people can connect in that way and say, there's somebody out there similar to me in certain ways. We're all unique in our own way, but there's a
Mhm.
lot of similarities too
Hey,
with
I
others.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's well, I'm glad. I'm happy doing these. They're very self satisfying, and I do get a lot of personal enjoyment out of these doing them myself. So that leads me now to talking to you, Shaun, about bringing you into the grunt work of what we do. First and foremost, what would you find, let's say, most challenging or the hardest part of your job day to day? I already know the answer to this, but I want everyone else out there listening to
Yeah,
appreciate this.
yeah. It absolutely has nothing to do with waking up early.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's probably those waking up at four something in the morning thing again is a tough thing. But other than waking up early, I'm actually grateful that I get to wake up early. I guess that I
Yep,
have a job to wake up I enjoy too. But
absolutely.
just but once again, I think it's other than I guess the challenge of trying to stay busy as a trainer, trying to jockey clients around time, personal life, stuff like that. I guess the biggest challenge would probably be it's just the effort I think involved in terms of trying to line clients up time wise and
Hmm.
trying to there's almost just as much work on the phone sometimes as there is in physically training somebody. You
Hmm.
have to really stay ahead of the game, I find, in terms of scheduling and things like that.
It's true.
If you're not ahead of the game on that, you can find yourself behind the game on your paycheck.
Oh.
So you
Hmm.
almost have to stay one step ahead time wise. But yeah, the waking up early thing is tough on me at times, and then just the scheduling and trying to stay consistent with that. But overall, I just have to remind myself I've had a lot worse jobs. I've worked a lot harder physically,
Hmm.
and so it can be a rewarding career money wise. It certainly can pay well if you do a good job at it and stay busy enough. So I just remind myself, I could have a job, that I didn't enjoy as much if I'm not careful, and I have to stay ahead of the game.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Okay, well now let me ask you this. You'd mentioned Paycheck, and that brings me and leads me into asking you this. We know that you work at Tequesta Fitness as a trainer, but you also do mobile in-home private training as well. You provide that remotely. So, speaking from experience, I'll just tell you myself, it's happened to me before. One of the number one pet peeves for all personal trainers is definitely not being able to get paid on time, or much less get paid at all for services rendered. And I've been burned. I'll admit, I'll say right here openly, I've trained clients and they failed to pay me, and then I've never seen them again. And I look at it as for myself, hey, maybe I wasn't that great of a trainer. I didn't deserve the money for that session. So chalk it up to experience. But let's say again, and again, I'll say this too. I've had trainers or clients rather. I'm sorry, who kind of I'll get you next time, not a big deal. And with us, being like that part of the income is an irregular cash flow. Anybody watching this can understand or appreciate it. How do you deal with situations when, let's say, for example, if you're either not paid on time, or if you hear stories like I just told you for myself of trainers who train a session and then get burned and don't collect on the money?
hmm Well, basically, in terms of that, I guess, I'm sure you did a perfect job training them. Just,
Thank you.
never physically haven't met you before. I'm sure you're a great trainer.
Thank you.
I'm assuming it might have been in the cards anyway that maybe the person wasn't going to pay for some reason in some way.
Hmm.
But who knows, I mean, why people don't pay somebody when they do something like that. It hasn't happened much to me. It did happen not too long ago where I did kind of front a kid a couple of sessions, and he was going to pay me at one point. He didn't quite have enough or something. I said, you know what, just pay me next time or something like that. And then I never saw him again. And it was for boxing training, actually. Never heard from him again. So I don't know his personal life. I don't know what happened outside of our training. Who knows, really? Who
Hmm.
really knows? Um, but all I can really say is you just have to be careful from a business standpoint on, you know, getting out on a limb like
Yeah.
that and being in a situation like that. I think it is good to be part of a gym in certain ways because um, the gym gets all their money up front. And when they
True.
get all their
Yeah.
money up front,
Hmm.
I'm kind of under their cover.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Hmm.
I get my money once I train, but
Good point.
it's, a systematically set up way. And a person can't really work on me and say, hey, can I pay you next week or this and this and that. But I've learned, I think, over time, you sort of kind of get a feel for things. And you just have to be careful, I think. And it's just like any other business, we expect to get paid for what we do. And if somebody is going to, cancel or something along those lines, well, I think we deserve the respect to have a notice, a long enough notice ahead of time. And likewise, if we're going to cancel on somebody, we should try to be respectable on that side too. So tricky business sometimes.
It is. You're right. It's like walking a fine line sometimes, because that was my next question to you. Sometimes we look at, well, that guy didn't give me a 24-hour notice or didn't call, but it's been a great client. I don't want to lose them long term. Is this worth enforcing that rule? Most of the times we do have the leisure or the flexibility and discretion to either say, yeah, you get charged, or no, he gets a free pass this time. So in balancing that, I'll tell you right now openly, that is my number one pet peeve personally for me, when someone either It drives me nuts. Either no call, no shows, or just doesn't show up, and for whatever reason didn't make it to the session. When that happens, if that's been in the past, how do you, how have you treated that situation for yourself?
Yeah, I think it depends. I'm usually pretty flexible with
Okay,
stuff like that.
sure.
Usually one or two times.
Hmm.
I'm pretty soft when it comes to that, I guess.
Okay,
But
okay.
usually the first one or two, I'm understandable. I have a hard
Yeah,
time. That's, not that I would ever play favorites in any way, but I just have some clients that are regular that train with me five, six times a week, and they
hmm,
spend a lot of money. And, if something happens to one of them, and I know they're regular people and they're very steady people,
right, right. Hmm.
it had to have been a serious enough thing to where, because I know their track record, I
Hmm.
know they're consistent and faithful customers. So I haven't have a hard time, charging someone like that. Even for a new person, I understand life happens, anything can happen. But if it seems like it's somebody that's maybe abusing the system in some way, so to speak, of where they're just, maybe just get a feeling that they're just pushing you off because it's a sunny day out and they want to go to the beach or something instead. You got to kind of just, I guess, go with a hunch on that and say, yeah, I have to enforce this policy at
Yeah,
some point because he can't consistently miss days. So yeah, I think you just gotta, just like anything else, I don't want to lose customers. I don't want to frighten anybody off and be so hard on somebody because I could miss a session. I've done it. I've forgotten sessions and have not showed up and had
sure.
somebody waiting at the gym.
Hmm.
And man, so what do I do then? I just, sorry, and then try my best not to ever do that again. But I guess you just try to respect each other's time the best you can. And if a client is consistently doing it and their in personal training's not for them, I think it'll work itself out. Eventually, they'll realize it's not for them more than likely.
Yeah, good, solid answer, Sean. I like that. And being a really good, valued personal trainer and very well respected fitness professional as yourself, what advice and suggestions can you give to people that are watching? Let's say that they're interested in becoming a personal trainer or going into the fitness industry. What would you
Yeah.
tell them if you had to give them, say, if you knew you could give them the top 3 to 5 best pieces of advice that you wish you would have known before you got into it? What could you sit them down with and tell them that would help them out?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I would probably say first and foremost, it can take some time to build up a clientele to make some money.
Yeah.
So you have to kind
Hmm.
of weigh out what are your expenses.
Yeah.
Do you have a family? What are your bills? All that type of stuff.
Right. Hmm.
And then from there, you may want a little second job in the meantime.
Hmm.
You're
Yep.
building your personal training clientele.
Yep.
You're going to get out of it what you put into it, so you can build the business fast or slow.
Hmm. Hmm.
So first and foremost, I'd say, understand that it could take some time to make some money. So maybe a second job. So that would be first.
That's good.
Secondly, I would probably say it's an easy job to take advantage of if you're not careful.
Hmm.
When I used to work at Gold's Gym, I'd be done with my training in the morning and I'd go home and enjoy the rest of the day, go lay out in the sun or, just come home and chill and watch TV or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
just thought like, well, this is an easy job. I should have been at the gym. So when a new potential client walked in, I could have met possibly a new client,
Yeah.
get my face in the gym more. I should have, you're not getting paid for that time, but it's potential customers you could pick up when you're there. If you're not there, somebody else is there picking them up. So it's an easy job to take advantage of. Treat it as if it's a real job.
Hmm.
So that'd be second. And then third, I would probably say um, think positive and expect success. In other words, it's very easy to not ask for business. It's very easy to be shy. It's very
Hmm.
easy to assume training is not for somebody. But if you could simply just strike a conversation up with someone in the gym, that conversation can lead from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a pushy person. You can say, I'm a trainer and, what are you doing and this and that. And if you're pleasant enough, they may say, I just been trying forever to
Hmm.
lose weight. And, what do you charge? And
Hmm.
there you go. So just expect to be successful, be positive about it. There's a demand for trainers,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So you can say, this job's too hard and quit, or you can stick with it a little bit, and maybe your competition, the next trainer next to you, might quit. Then all of a sudden you picked up 2 or 3 clients from them. So it's a funny business like that. And don't take the word competition the wrong way with other trainers in the gym. I'm not meaning it in a bad way.
Right.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is things can change rapidly in the gym atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So you just have to have the ability to stick to it, think positive, and believe your business will grow, and it'll grow.
Yeah, like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Yeah, basically.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think your advice there, Shaun, was just spot on. I'm in much agreement with you and highly endorse those sentiments. I mean, great stuff. Shaun, like I said, man, every time I talk to you, the time flies by so quickly. I really appreciate you coming back on. I'm glad we were able to get this interview going. And again, I can't wait to hopefully meet you while I'm down there. It'd be nice to come visit the gym. And the next time you and I talk, Tony and Uzi, if he's watching, will be one of us. He'll be on that dark side. I shouldn't say that. He'll be on the bright side. He'll learn what it's really like to have a difficult time. And I'm just joking. Just kidding, Tony, if he's watching. But Shaun, yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, let's definitely connect. And again, I really appreciated this video blog. You are the man. Always a pleasure talking to you, and just wonderful. Can't wait to talk to you very soon. And again, hopefully be able to meet you in person and shake your hand too.
Likewise, Tarryn. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. All right, folks. Well, everyone out there, here comes Shaun's information right now. Shaun, we'll see you later.
All right, take care. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. All right, everybody, there you have it. That'll do it. Another Skype interview with Mr. Shaun George from Stuart, Florida, right here on GoTarryn TV. And for the folks out there, if this is your first time meeting Shaun and getting the chance to listen to him and you want more of him, then please make sure to go to the website link at the bottom of your screen right there. And I encourage you to check out the video blog archives. For reference's sake, to find Mr. Shaun George, look up episodes 368, 391, and 460. And that'll do it for today's video episode. And again, Shaun, I'll be looking forward in a couple of weeks to hopefully coming down there, not only to Tony and Uzi's wedding, but also checking out the Quest Fitness Center and meeting you in person as well. So that'll be really cool. And everybody else out there, hope you enjoyed today's video blog. Again, that gave you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the daily grind of a personal training, both the benefits and some of the opportunities that we, us trainers, have as we work with our fantastic, awesome rock star clients. So, if that includes one of you, then you know you are especially special for watching today's video blog. But again, hope you enjoyed today's video interview. I always thoroughly love listening and talking to Mr. Shaun George right here on GoTarryn TV. We'll have him back on for a very near future episode. In the meantime, please make sure to do the 3 following things for GoTarryn, if you wouldn't mind. Please make sure to like me on Facebook, subscribe to me on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter. And that way you will stay connected with yours truly, Tarryn the Traveling Trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training, who tells each and every one of you that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Thanks so much, folks. We'll see you on the next video blog, everybody. Bye-bye.